All right, here we are, guys. Hole number 6. What I'll typically try to do is get over to this part of the fairway here. Sometimes tricky to do. This is going to be kind of one of those tricky times. It's not the easiest wind, a little bit of a headwind. Much easier to get it down there with the tailwind. We should still be able to do it. One of the things that I'm going to try to do, well, especially for this guide, we're going to go through one playthrough with a Win 5 option, and then the other one time with just probably a Kingmaker. So the time with the Win 5 actually makes it just a tiny bit tougher because the power thing really does kind of come into play a little bit here on this one. So having that Power 3 option does make this shot a little bit easier. So one of the things I'm thinking, definitely under 4 on the top spin. Thinking of landing right around here. This will be about maybe a 6 ring adjustment. 6 rings, significant amount of curl. And just too much. So I'm half tempted to just chip this back, especially with this Win 5. So keep in mind, just a little bit too much overpower. Same thing with the top spin. I could maybe dial it back just a little bit. So I went just a little bit under 4, probably maybe stick to 3 there. So you'll just want to start to get that dialed in to give yourself a good opportunity. So what I'll typically do is I'll go rough bump. So you can see opponent here going with this fairway hop. This is also a very good shot. This is what I may do depending on where the distance falls. However, you'll see that with the rough bump, there's a very good chance that you can get, even sometimes great balls to fall. So it's really just about, technique, where you choose to aim. You'll see that as you're scanning the rough up there, sometimes like 1 or 2 rings over yields the same ball guide. So what that tells you is you have some room for error for anywhere landing in that range to potentially still get the hole out. So that's what you'll want to aim for. So I'm going to go ahead and just pitch backwards. I don't think you'll really need to know this shot. Even if you do hit it, what I would recommend is just going off of here with topspin, something like this. But I don't think that, that's really going to be something that you're going to have to worry about. More so than anything, let's just go ahead and just pitch it back to where we're trying to stop it. And we'll go at it with the iron shot here. So typically we'll be pretty close to min on the long iron. And as I mentioned, as you scan the rough in a particular spot, you might see the ball guide very similar in multiple spots. It looks like, and I was supposed to keep B52 on. I don't know why this is on. But we will make it work either way. I'm trying to think of what the usual topspin amount is. I think it is 3 or 4 bars. So this might not get there. So do be careful. So I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 2-ish per ring with this club. Just a shade more than 4. Hopefully that didn't take them off my top spin. Looks like it didn't. Perfect ball. And it looks like it does have enough to get there. And sure enough, there it is. Keep in mind that with the B52, it would be the same amount of topspin. You just have a different ring adjustment. I'll typically at Min Club use about 1.2, 1.3 per ring, somewhere in there, as opposed to almost going 2.0 there. So do keep that in mind. But, that rough bump is going to be very makeable. So that's one of the things that I'll make sure that I do is if I can use that B52 because of accuracy purposes, that's what I'll put on because as I mentioned, sometimes with the great ball, you'll still be able to get those to fall. So good luck there, guys, and I'll see you guys on the next one.